yourself. You were at Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Reading, Manchester City, as you mentioned, Wrexham, Bolton. You must have worked under some top-class managers there. Who were they, and do you use anything that you learned from them in your own sort of managerial?
Some things, but I think, you know, and any young coach always asks me, you know, that similar question. I think you've always got to be yourself, but there's no doubt that the people I've worked with have moulded me into the manager that I am and the coach that I am, and I have got probably, you know, I've probably got a wee bit of Jim Smith in there where he ran and raved a wee bit, but you know, you do take something from them all. I think the main thing that you know, the best managers that I played under, so the likes of, you know, Frank Clark and Joe Royal were very much man managers, how they dealt with players, because you know that is so important. Being honest with players, you know, Frank and Joe were always really good to work. They're almost like, you know, they're saying father figures. They looked out for their players. They made sure that everything was right for them. You know, I played for managers like Ozzy or Delacy, who just everything was off the cuff, just totally. There was no structure to it. It was just, I mean, literally, it was just play. It was 5 sides every day. You know, Kevin Keegan was, you know, similar, not really structured in terms of, you know, doing everything. But then Keegan was able to, at Newcastle at that time, able to go and bring in the best players, and it was almost like the old Liverpool way. But no, I think the biggest thing I can take, you know, is when I looked at the likes of Frank and Joe Royal, how they manage people. I think that's very important.
How would you assess the report card so far?
Still the work to do. Don't rest on anything. The last game's gone, win the next game. It's as simple as that. We've had a reasonably good start. I think there's only been 3 losses in 15 games. Can we play better at times? Yeah, that any manager will tell you that. And nobody's you know, found the perfect answer where everybody plays well for every minute of the game. But I think we're moving in the right direction. I say I'm happy with the squad. You know, injuries are clearing up, and you know, winning Saturday and having 18 points after the first 8 games, I think is you know, a good start. But anybody that knows me, I never get carried away. I keep things hopefully on a level keel, and we know there's a hell of a lot of hard work still to do.
We did get a question from someone, I couldn't find it. It was in relation to Adam McKinnon sent in the question. You mentioned the interviews at points total required to gain promotion. What is this total, and how can it be avoided? Last season, where the target was reached but was not enough to escape relegation.
Well, I disagree with him there. The target wasn't reached because we got 10th. So we didn't reach the target last year, but I know what it means in terms of we got the playoff. And obviously we didn't. It was quite obvious we didn't play well enough, made too many mistakes in the 2 playoff games to win any games of football. I think you need 2 points a game. So 72 points. Should get promotion.
Let's turn to training facilities, which there's been a few questions about that. What are your thoughts on the training facilities you have at the moment at your disposal? And you heard anything about the likes of a training centre away from Rugby Park?
Again, if anyone asks what I think of plastic pitches.
No, that's the next question. We'll get to that.
Well, my opinion's changed a little bit anyway. The good ones, there's still a lot of bad ones about. And I think if you go back, I always said that it's the good ones that it's the quality of the, it seems any pitch, whether it's grass plastic. But ideally, you would like a training ground, and we've spoke, before we started, a couple of reasons for that. I think when you come into so we train here, which is fine. But then when you come in, I think if you're away from the training ground and you come into the ground on a match day, there's that extra buzz. Being in every day, it's a wee bit familiar at times. And I always found as a player, if you had to train or get changed and be in the ground every day, when it came match day, it was almost like another day. So there's that point. The surface is excellent. The quality of the sessions we're able to do is good because it is a top-notch 14 pitch and it's well maintained. But ideally, we would want a training centre, not only for the first team, but for the under-18s, because we don't really have a training facility for them at the moment. So, in particular COVID, they have to wait then to wear off that pitch before they can come on. If I wanted to do a double session, then maybe they would have to then train later, and it's just a logistical thing. But ideally, we brought the training ground. Billy's looked at that. I don't know if there's a problem with the council or anything that it's holding it up, but I think Billy definitely has the aims to build a training ground. And if you look at other clubs who I think we can potentially be as big as Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen have all invested in a training ground. Hearts have linked up with the Orient. It's not they don't actually own it, but they've got their own training facility. So it is important, and I think it is something that the club will do in the future. But that's where I can help get us promoted, get us back to the Premier League, and then we can really look at things like that.
Do you train on grass before you go to play, for example, this weekend away to Dunfermline?
No, and it's something that we discuss with the players, and they feel more comfortable, staying on the artificial. Listen, they're the ones that have to play and are playing on the grass and go from surface to surface. So they're more than happy with it. And as I say, sometimes it's getting a good grass pitch. Now, if you had your own training ground, it would be a lot invested in that, and the quality of the grass pitches would be good. But it is getting locally a good grass pitch as well for us to train on.
Back to the artificial pitch. Gordon Simpson sent in the question. Did you consider restoring the pitch to the dimensions which Lee Clark changed? If so, why was it decided not to? And would this have been an advantage against pack defences?
Yeah, it could have been, but the pitch is probably one of the biggest pitches in the country on the side, where the dimensions are at the minute. So I thought we did have a brief discussion about it, but we just felt get the quality players to help us break defences down.
Joe Keen's asked a question about why we don't have defenders on the posts at corner kicks.
Right, yeah, I've had that one before. If you look at our setup, we don't have anybody on the back post. We have somebody in the front post area, and their job is, if a ball comes in that front post area, they deal with it. But if the ball is hit big, say to the back post, they drop onto the back post. So technically, once it clears that area, we do have somebody on the post. The reasons are we sometimes have another zonal player who's free in the middle of the 6-yard box, and allows us to leave one player on the pitch. So it's something that I've always done it. It's just how I set up other clubs. Very rarely now do you see teams with 2 people on the post. They either want to make sure that the area, and particularly in the centre of the 18-yard box, is almost congested, where there's no space for people to make runs, and so they're denying opposition space. I like the setup that we've got. I don't want to tempt fate. I don't think we did last season, but I don't think we've conceded off a corner yet. So that continues.
Has your thoughts on that changed over the years from being a goalkeeper to a manager in the way that the game has changed?
Yeah, because I think when I started playing, you were up and every team probably set up the same. You know, 2 people on the post, you left one up. But as I say, it changes, but I've always stuck with, and you find that a lot of teams don't have anybody on the post side because they want to deny the opposition space in the 18-yard box.
The use of videos of previous games to improve performances and what the video analysis you have and assessing your team and also opposition.
Yeah, so for example, we will have somebody have watched Dunfermline. We'll get a written report in. if a new opportunity came for myself to go and watch an Almere, to go and watch Dunfermline 2 weeks ago when they played Wright midweek, because obviously as a manager I like to see the opposition live if I can. Video is the next best thing, but I'd like to see it live. You don't always get that opportunity because you're normally playing at the same time as the opposition. So for Dunfermline, I've seen them, Alan's seen them. We have a report from their game against Queen of the South. We have a Y-Scout which provides video footage of their games and provides different stats that we can use. Alan Mabry, we brought Alan Mabry in as a coach, stroke analyst, so he would, excuse me, he would deal with a lot of that. And but so on Sunday, if they've uploaded the game, I can download the game, Dunfermline's game, say from their last game. I can download that in the effective time, which is basically the ball and play, which is around about 50-60 minutes. So I'll have watched that on Monday, the other staff will have watched it, we'll have a meeting on Monday. Right, this is what we're going to do, this is the things that they do well. Right, so at the start of the week we might work more on the defensive side of it, and then these are the things that we've exploited in terms of their weaknesses, and they work on that, we tend to work on that in the end of the week. But yeah, the club, and I said it's not, Westcoat's not cheap. You know, the club, we had that in the Premier League. It'd been quite easy for the club to, you know, cut that package or do something like that. They see the importance of it. So yeah, we use it. We've also got a fixed camera in the stand, the far stand. So, for example, today when we're working in shape of the team, we're able to analyse it after training, and then on Friday, if there's anything we need to go over, we'll do.
Looking at the competitions this year, obviously the Challenge Cup or the SPFL Trust Trophy, I can remember exactly what it's called. How are you viewing that? Is that an opportunity to give players game time rather than just set out as it's a competition you have to win?
It's a bit of both, and if you look at the 2 teams we put out, we've made changes. But here we'll go back to the squad. I never feel the 2 teams that we put out, you know, I was confident we were going to win the games. I want to win it. The next round is a little bit more tricky because I think we've got the Scottish Cup draw, which will be coming in the next couple of weeks. We'll have the Scottish Cup in the weekend, 27th. Sorry, excuse me. And then I think it's the 30th.
Yeah, the 30th of Tuesday.
Yeah, and then for some reason they know that competition is happening. They've got Inverness ourselves, both playing on the Tuesday, and then we've got to play on the Friday again.
Playing the BBC for that.
You could do, yeah. You could. That's where you left. Don't forget about the BBC. So but I'll start up a strong team because I'll want to win the game. It'll be a top round, but that game there may be more changes than maybe what I've done before. a game so close to the Inverness game, and I imagine they'll probably do the same. But we want to win it, and I believe with the squad we've got, no matter what team we've got, we can go on with it.
That's been great to have two quality goalkeepers at the moment.
It's really good. And with Colin, as our third stroke, goalie coach as well. So I just thought it was one position. I've always tried to have, and some managers think, oh, you're better having a number one and a number two. I've always tried to have two goalkeepers that are pretty close, almost. I still say it, two number ones, and I'll deal with that. But I'll have to deal with the one that's not playing. I think I've got enough experience to deal with that. So Sam has been unlucky. Zach has been, I think, really, really good. When we signed him, obviously Paul Stevenson knew him better than me, but I'd watched the footage of him and I thought he was very good. I thought I had Sam's contract took a wee bit longer, not a wee bit longer than what we would have expected, and that probably gave Zach the opportunity because Sam couldn't go to the pre-season tour with us, so he was a wee bit behind in terms of fitness. But Sam's at 31, playing at a high level, you can see the qualities he's got. But Zach got in, made a huge impression on me, and I decided that even though Sam wasn't a goalkeeper in terms of he signed for 2 years, I had to go with my eyes, seeing what my gut feeling was that who was at that level at that time, and Zach was just ahead of Sam. And the reasons I say I've touched on, Sam, missed pre-season, and even for a goalkeeper that that takes a wee bit of time to catch up. But now they're both on a level par. Zach's got the jersey at the moment.
Chris Stokes, you made him your captain, injured. What's the situation at the moment, and when can we see him back?
I would say probably another 2 or 3 weeks. He got a real bad injury, as anybody was at hips when he pulled up that quickly. He's been knocked back a couple of weeks because he was ill. We thought it was COVID, it wasn't COVID, so he missed about 10 days, 2 weeks, and that's the reason why I'm saying it's going to be over 2 or 3 weeks. We probably expect him to be back by now. Again, I tried to sign Chris about 4 years ago, so I'd known about him, was made aware that he was available, and I think anybody that's seen him play, he's a good leader, very good talker, he's good in the dressing room. He's good in the dressing room not only on match day but Monday to Friday as well, and he's got excellent qualities, and leadership qualities, to be captain. But I say, and I just think that it shows the quality of the squad that we've been able to manage without him and Chris, and still do reasonably well at the moment.
Put your hand up if you want to ask a question, and we'll give you up.
Tommy, Robert Foster, I've got a couple of things. So you mentioned earlier on about the necessity of bringing pretty much a full new squad in the summer, but there was a wee bit of continuity there with Bucky and Rory and stuff as well. Was that important to have them there to provide that continuity, and who at the new bunch can we see being who settled in the most and could still be here in a few years' time, who really loves being at Kilmarnock?
Yeah, it was, and Rory's been here a long time. It is, you need somebody that knows what the club's all about, particularly new players come in, and new players will go to Rory and speak to him at the club when they first come in. Bertie was a wee bit different. We sat down with, so we always wanted Bertie to re-sign, but we'd known that clubs had made approaches to Bertie before the end of last season, and when I sat down with Bertie at the end of the season, it was quite simple. We did talk about a sort of player coaching role, because again I think that's important. and I hate heard back to St Johnstone. We always did that. Stephen McLean, Dave Mackay, Liam Craig. We always allowed them to do a bit of coaching with the academy kids while they were still playing. So Bertie does a wee bit of that. With Bertie, we just had to give him time. He had asked me, that he told me that I would be the first to know. He hadn't made a decision on his future, whether he's even going to play again. And that's what we did. I said, right, if you want to give you time, I'm not going to pester you, I'll just leave you, we'll give you time, because I do think you're going to be important to us on the pitch and off the pitch. And unfortunately, he's got injured and not playing as much as we would have liked. But again, he's a good influence around the place. I was saying young wingers. I said to the young wingers that when I was bringing them in, that you're going to learn from. I'm not going to be teaching what Bertie can teach you about how to play in the wing. So, and that's a big stage. So really pleased to get him. Great professional. If I look at the current squad, I think you and Murray, and listen, they're all here a long time because I really like working with them. They'll be here if they're successful, and I'll be here if I'm successful as well. So, I say I don't want to be, again, part of the recruitment process was that, right, get a team that gets us out of the league, but also a squad that's not going to change dramatically for next season. Because you don't want to be, if you get promoted, to having to bring in 10 players and bed in 10 players again. Although we've done it reasonably well this year, but we don't want to be doing that. So I think somebody like you and Murray, Nazy, hopefully the goalkeepers as well. If we'll keep an eye on the situation with Zach and Middlesbrough. I'd like to keep Colin Henry, long term as well. Ollie Shaw. I think there's a number that hopefully will be here a long time. But I think to do that, we all got to be successful.
Thanks very much. Hi Tommy and Kevin McGregor. There's one or two players in the team that seem to kind of attract the wrath of a small number of home fans week in, week out. Whether that's to do with performance or they're justified, I'll leave to others doing it. How do you help the players process that, and what kind of mental health strategies are built into your coaching as that becomes more of an issue?
Well, I go back to some of the managers that I work with in terms of man managing. So I do tend to tell players to stay off social media. I know that's difficult. Particularly the younger players that have been brought up with social media. It's not something that I pay any attention to because I know I have a lot of people to tell me, press will tell me what's this on social media, it's on social media. You go from there to there very quickly. So if for example, player A I feel is having a hard time, I'll bring them in, I'll talk to them, we'll talk about their game, and I'll just say, look, you just have to block out, you have to ignore it, it'll be somebody else next week, and the bottom line is, really, the only person they've got to please is me, because I pick the team, and so hopefully by giving them confidence, reassuring them, that helps them through that. It's human nature. I can understand, don't agree with it, I can understand that fans are passionate, and sometimes that passion just borders on something that I think some people, if they look back, some of the things they've said at games, and they probably go, oh, why did I say that? But in the main, I try to be that sort of comfort blanket for them to help them through any situation like that. I'm sorry, we also we make there is people that they can go and talk to if they want to go outside the club as well. We can get that fixed up for them.
Yes. Sorry, Tommy. Langdon, you said that you still had a bit of the budget left.
Yeah.
Was that in case we lose somebody in the transfer window? Is that in case we need to replace an injury? did something fall through, and were you pleased with what you've got?
It's we bit of both. We bit of, sorry, some of the things you've touched on. We had one deal that player actually trained with us. Paperwork was all done at his club. Didn't return any of our calls on the last day of the window. I'm not naming any names, but I know that person's not in the job anymore. So there's a wee bit of that. We were quite good in terms of the deals that we did. You know, I often say to Billy that you know, I know it's your money, but I look upon it as my money, and and having worked at St Johnstone, I know the value of a player. There's deals that we've walked away from that I don't think is the right value. So between James and myself, and the board as well, we've really managed the budget really well. You know, we've got loans, we've got, you know, money in from loans that we've got out, which helps, you know, free up money as well. So it's all about managing it. And even if the one that you know, did slip through our fingers, you know, we probably still had a little bit left anyway.